Morning everybody, welcome to Djuma Game Reserve this morning. It's a blustery, overcast morning here at Djuma, but it's actually not very cold. Got a lovely, warm, what we call a berg wind coming in from the north. And well, rain predicted for today. There are actually flood warnings. We'll have to see what the weather's going to do for us. But for now, even with this wind, we've got a nice scene here out in the open area near camp. My name is Mark, Seb is on camera, Tara is in final control. And we're going to try and bring you a fantastic morning. Starting with the zebra, there's some impala as well. So, funnily enough, I see a few rams that are starting to bash heads a little bit. But they're all quite relaxed. Now, lion were calling last night, quite loud, quite close. I think they were up on sort of Tambuti Dam way on Buffels of cut line. So I think we're going to start off heading up that way this morning, and then we'll see how far we get. But first, I think we're going to watch some zebra and some impala. And the sun just trying to peer through the cloud behind the marula tree. I'll try and get to see that in a minute. Look at that zebra trying to get a good scratch. A little one. When you got an itch, scratch. Other side? No. The neck, the zebra behind it also getting a scratch. We'd probably be able to get a few zebra hairs out of the bark of that tree. I'd say it's about a yearling, this little one. It's having a rub. Maybe a little older. Heads to the wind. I wonder if they can hear something. If they can hear a guinea fowl complaining. Let's take a ride. I think with this wind the way it is, these animals might stay out here on the open a little bit longer. Also, they don't necessarily have to move into the thick bush as yet. The sun's not very effective. In fact, the sun's now gone behind thicker cloud. So they might stay out here on the open a little longer today. Oh, some interesting facial markings he's got, the stallion. Okay, let's go see me fowl shouting. new marula tree down there. wonder who that was. Or maybe, I'm sure that's recently fouled. I can see the guinea fowl down there too. Steenbok. Morning stations, getting mobile.
Yeah, morning. How are you this morning?
Good, thanks. Okay, copied. It sounded like those, last time I heard those in Gala, that sounded like they could have been Tambuti Dam one. Also, one of the Arathusa people that came over last night said they saw Ingwe with a bump on Triple M North. I'm not sure. Did H say it was which side of the road it was, that Ingwe?
No. It was on the road. It was on the road.
Evidently it was on the road. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to check that one out. Well, both Henry and Texan are heading north.
Changing my route also, going along. So then I'll check
Okay, thanks, Tex. Alright, so dividing up the areas to cover this morning. Henry will go north. Texan will go west. As I was saying on the radio, somebody, well, Helena really, who works at Arathusa, came over last night, and she said that there was a leopard in the road with a kill. I'm guessing it was possibly Karula in that part of the world. Excuse me. So we'll go south-ish or something. Looks like Wattle Starlings. I shouldn't have told you the name. In that buffalo, in that spike thorn. There are buffalo weavers there, but there's also, no, not that one. Somewhere in there, sort of in the center of the tree. Are birds that we don't see too often. A small flock of them. Sometimes you get flocks of hundreds. And the males have got very, let's see where you can find one or two. Maybe a little bit to the right and up a bit. There were none. Yeah, there's one. That's a female. Males have very interesting faces when they're breeding, and they should be coming into their breeding colours now. There we go. Oh, another trio of them that's just arrived in the tree. And they look like a couple of juveniles as well. That could be a juvenile too. Wattled starlings. One of the few starlings we have that aren't the blue, metallic blue colour. And we don't see wattle starlings too often. In the company of some red-billed buffalo weavers. And I see a couple of drongos. Oh, there's this side of there's a scimitar. just lost picture again. Okay, back. Yeah, it is rather odd out here in the open area losing picture, but excuse me. I can't see it too well. Well, that's a common summitable that there, it's at the top. All right. Oh, the hippo. Well, the wind's obviously been howling all night because it's still saying. Thank you, Sil. News about the big male of the Matimbas called Induna, big male lion. That was over at Nkoro. I wonder, there's an elephant track here. I wonder if that's the group with the very small baby. Another thing to look for this morning. Carolyn. Are the feet of the hippo, the rhino and the elephant similar? The way they walk on their toes? No, it's only the elephant, Carolyn. The hippo and the rhino, you do see the back of the foot. I suppose, I don't know, actually. It's only really the elephant that has that huge massive muscle and well, gelatinous mass. I'm saying the wind must have been howling last night because tracks out there in the open area were completely blown away. The road was fairly smooth. Here there are tracks that are a little bit more sheltered. I wonder if that's the nice big elephant bull tracks. That could be that bull that Tara was with yesterday. Now, since I've been back, I've mainly been around this area and Treehouse Dam. I think I need to venture a little bit further today. Okay, people asking if we starting the checklist today. Well, I'm exercising my prerogative to make that decision, I guess. I think not. I think on account of the fact that we have another guest with us today on the vehicle, I think we'll hold it off. Maybe Tara can start it tomorrow or Seb the next day. But which way did this big bull go? He went north. Could be him. Gonna have a look here at Gowrie Dam, then we'll go back down Twin Dams Road perhaps. Or even up Central. I haven't decided yet. There's a pied kingfisher fishing here at Gowrie Dam at the moment. Okay. Go back down south on Twin Dams Road. Babblers. thing to have flood warnings in October. The biggest rains normally fall mid to late December. But then again, I suppose there's no such thing as normal anymore. And one can't bank on past weather patterns. Anything is possible. There was talk of it being a dry year, and that could be it could be that this rain is just the end of this last wet cycle that we've had, and if we're going to be going into a dry cycle, well, it could be disastrous. If we have more rain now, it's going to sort of follow up the initial rain that we've had. There is already a lot of growth that has started. That's not so much a problem for plants that already exist, but obviously the rain that has fallen has germinated a lot of seed, and particularly grass seed. And grass, of course, being a ground cover, helps retain soil, prevents erosion. And if we go through a very dry and hot patch, a lot of the new grasses that have started are likely to die off, and when we do get a wet season, then there's no seed to germinate anymore. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Other thing is that, yes, last night I saw my first dung beetle. Well, I've seen a lot of scarabs. There have been a lot of these little beige and reddish brown scarabs. They're a subfamily of the true scarabs, rose beetles, and mostly called rose beetles as far as I know. And they've been very, very small little dung beetles, the size of a match head. But hopefully we'll be able to see some dung, and I'll be able to show you how times have changed already as far as insect activity is concerned. Up until now, a lot of the large mammals, their dung has remained in its form as it has come out. But now with the little scarabs running around, the dung is starting to get spread as soon as it comes out of an animal. Henry, come in. Did you confirm there's no Mkonzo on Buffalo's cut line? Okay, copy, thanks. Maybe we need to go north after all. Well, what we'll do is we'll do a loop around the center of Gowrie. We don't often do something like that. Let me just see what we've got. It's the old hippo tracks from early last night. Oh, there's a primate in a tree. Primate at the very top of a tree. That could be interesting. And I'm sure there's likely to be a hippo at Twin Dams, because there are hippo tracks on Twin Dams Road heading south. But there's a monkey at the very top of a tree. I wouldn't be surprised if it might be seeing something. Okay, monkeys, let's see if we are shouting. No. Oh, what could you possibly have in that tree? That's interesting. Oh, see, this is not a feeding exercise. But we've got two primates looking in two different directions. There's a third one, fourth lower down. Wonder if this is the remnants of the Gowrie troop from Gowrie Dam, from the lodge. My guess is they might have seen something earlier. Now they're looking to the south. Let's try to drive in the riverbed and we'll come back up onto Twin Dams Road. been busy. There's still water here that they're digging for. No, it doesn't look like it. I just want to look at that monkey again from this angle. See, still way up in the tree at the junction, Spaghetti Junction. I'm not looking this way, but doesn't seem that perturbed. I'll go to Twin Dams and see if there's anything there. Pretty hard ground here to look for tracks. Something I meant to look for today. There's a Wahlbergs at the top of a Boerbean here at the junction of Elephant Skull. I like phased Wahlbergs. Their nest is just down here in the riverbed, and I've been meaning to have a look for the Wahlbergs. We need to start monitoring the nest. I'm sure they must be incubating by now. In the last few drives we've been practicing or doing sort of dry runs of the challenge that we're going to do, and it's mostly for you to get your challenge minds in order. I think I'm the one that needs more practice than anything else. Once again, I should have had you guess what eagle this was. Okay, next time I see something, I'm not telling you, you're going to tell me. One of the smaller of the true eagles, the Wahlberg's mostly a bird hunter. Not to say they won't take small mammals and reptiles, but I've seen them take birds on the wing. It could be she's hunting. Well, not actively hunting, but she's looking for coming to chase. Right, let's move on. Text come in. Now I'm hearing you now talking to Jacques. Is that on Triple M?
Yeah, Triple M, very close to the gate, just on the southern side of the gate. So yeah, but you're right in the middle of the road. So I didn't want to stay with him because he just Sanoga was the Nyama. So I just wanted to give him a chance that he might drag more into the east because he was trying to drag the Nyama to the east. So maybe if somebody else can take the position for him, but he might drag it into Awanda because he's trying that.
Okay, thanks. I'm a bit far at the moment, but I might try a bit later. Okay, thanks. There's a remote possibility those monkeys at Spaghetti Junction are able to see these monkeys at the tops of the trees. Maybe they've been communicating somehow, if there'd been something to alarm about. But they're a little bit too relaxed for there to be something here. Well, interesting news to follow on from what we heard about last night. As I was saying, Helena said she saw a leopard on a kill last night in the middle of the road. And I have to be honest, I really didn't think that something would be there this morning. But I guess that is because I thought, well, Karula was in the area, maybe an impala, hyenas in the area too. The chances of it still being in the road are remote. A good chance that it'd be in a tree. Well, it turns out that it's our friend Jordan, and he's killed a big Nyala bull, which must have been a feat in its own, and it's still in the road, and he's trying to drag it into Voyatela from Triple M, but the vehicle that went there to see him this morning, actually Sulina must be in 7th heaven or maybe 9th heaven by now, because she's now seen the whole family. Karula, the cubs, and now Jordan. But he evidently left the kill, and so hopefully the other guys will leave him be. Let him drag it, because as soon as their vehicle's there, he'll leave it. But we can find our way there. The thing is, it's right there near the gate, and I don't know how much of a signal we'll get, but it's worth a try. Definitely worth a try. First, however, let's look around a bit on the way there. Nobody been walking around Gary Main. Eagle. Some of you have missed the name of the eagle. So I guess I could have asked for answers. It was a Wahlberg's eagle. W-A-H-L-B-E-R-G, Wahlberg. few creatures named after Wahlberg. There's a gecko and a skink. Must have been a bit of a herpetologist as well. They seem to have really found some of those lion. I think the Matimbas. I'll find out in a minute, but it sounds like they're deep in Buffelshoek. Ephraim, come in. Texan, come in. I text, you know which Ngala they've got on Buffelshoek?
Yeah, they're my tippers. They're my brothers.
And you know how many?
Up here we get over two. Two.
Okay, and no Mafazi. And did you find any Mkonzo on Buffelshoek cut line?
No, I got from the great side, but I took a one corner from Stanford heading towards the side, so I don't know how far that I don't know.
Okay, thanks. Oh, got Mkonzo going south on Weaver's Nest. Let's just check on Gary Main here. I mean, it's not great to find tracks that are heading south and we're almost on the southern boundary. Well, we are on the southern boundary. It means that they've more than likely crossed over by now. Which male this was. Maybe it was Machingaland from the south. We're wandering around a little bit. You wanna go? Okay. Alright, thanks, Tex. 2 males and that 1 female now that they've got up on Buffelshoek. So those must have been the lion we heard calling last night. Headed down the road. There was nothing down there. We're just going to head down back towards Twin Dams quickly. Cat came out of, what's that in the road? Warthog. Far down the road. That's quite far north. It doesn't really tie in with the lion that we heard. The lion that they're talking about. And I'm guessing that those lion that we heard last night were the same as the mating couple. That female's evidently with 2 males there. Well, these tracks have been driven over, but there was a lion here. I suppose it could have been the Machingaland venturing north again. Just briefly and then heading south. Walked straight down the middle of the road, but there was nothing at Baboon Pan. Must have turned in somewhere. But yeah, following a cold trail. A few days ago the Majingalans were on Zoe's road and they headed north on Zoe's and they turned around and somewhere on Impala Plain, in fact it was on Impala Plains, they turned around and headed south again. Yeah, something was running here. Maybe it was even being buffalo. Sure. Pretty heavy footfalls. The lion tracks after it going back in this direction. Interesting. Buffalo tracks. Actually, I should show you that. There's a buffalo, and before I show you that, I'll show you something else. Ants are attacking it. I was talking about a little subfamily of the scarabs that is very prolific and it's very common at the moment. This was being attacked by ants on the ground. And you get about 4 or 5 different species. There's a much smaller one that almost swarms. This is very common. And there's another slightly bigger one, very beige, it's like a little bit furry. This one's actually been trodden on. See why the ants are attacking it. And the way it's behaving, it's not going to last long. And they crowd the lights at night. A lot of the stuff that you might see flying in front of the lights at the dam are these beetles. Off you go. Find the ants. I'm going to just try and find that track. There was a beautiful track just behind us of the buffalo's hoof as the buffalo is running, digging deep in the ground, and you can see where the lion running after the buffalo is actually also digging its feet in the ground. I hope you'll be able to get an idea of it. There where I was slightly off the road. Yeah, there's a nice one. That must be the one that I saw. I don't know if...
Take the camera off.
Yeah, I'm going to have to maybe just take the camera off. I'll just move this as well while I'm at it. I'll hold on to the mic, try something new. We don't have to change Just lost picture. Back again. Okay, there's the mic, should be there. Right. Now, there has been a bit of rain on top of this, but
Okay, hold on.
first I'll show you the lion track. You can see there the 3 little lobes at the back, and then there's the pad with 1, 2, 3, the 4 toes, and that is on top of a very indistinct track, because this buffalo, the hoof hit the ground so hard that it splashed, almost like an impact crater, how it splashed the sand out, and underneath is very hard, very hard clay. So this is just a soft sandy layer that's maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch thick. And that must have been during rain yesterday. And I don't suppose they got this buffalo, because we would have found it yesterday. Somebody would have, including the likes of Bateleur and vultures. Text him, come in. I texted him, have anybody followed up on Nkonzo yesterday of Ngala chasing Nyari on Weaver's Nest? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, maybe might stop again, because how much water only too much water.
Oh, some interesting light filtering through the cloud. Yeah, but that's the end of the chase. I mean, now, unless it went off the road. There are no tracks at all. And I might have to go back that way and walk on those tracks. If the buffalo is running, it should be easy enough to get a direction of where he went to. I wasn't concentrating. When did we have rain? We had rain. Yeah, it wasn't much rain. It wasn't. That must have been just before the rain. I think it was probably around midnight we had some rain. Okay, first we check around Treehouse Dam, and then we'll come back again. Ashley's asking if we've got the postcard yet. Nope. There might be a postcard or 2 in the box, and on Wednesday. What's today? Oh, I forgot. Isn't today Wednesday? Oh, it is Wednesday today. Jim Reeves is going to Vukani today. I was supposed to give him my post-pops key, and there's also, I believe, another parcel waiting for us, but we've got to pay for customs duty. Parcel for Seb and Tara and myself. June bugs. Okay, is that what you call June bugs? Thanks, Vivian. Little kudu. bull? What are you concerned about? Vivian saying that it looks like what you call June bugs in Illinois, or I suppose in the States. No doubt on account of them coming out at the beginning of your summer in June, the same as they're coming out in ours. And they swarm the porch lights in summer. Sounds about right. Probably feed on the dung of deer and maybe even some of the domestic animals. Buffalo, I wonder. Certainly enough of these boys. Danny wants to know if the other tracks next to the lion tracks were birds. Uh-oh, geese are having a fight. That's quite a scene. Probably the two ganders and then the two females are... Alright, we're going to try and move a bit forward. This is quite a serious fight. That there is premium on waterfront property for Egyptian geese at the moment, and before the rains fill up the dams, there's not enough waterfront property for the number of geese. So this is a territorial dispute. Interesting that the female is, this one female is close by. They're both getting soaking wet. They'll drown and they can, well, they won't drown, but oh yeah, he's chasing him off. Well, those are both males. So why is fighting with the one male and not fighting with that male? Such a lot of noise. We had that at Gary Dam one day. I was fiddling with the camera, or I was directing. I can't remember what I was doing. I know I was in FC, and if I'm not mistaken, living practically in FC. My room was adjoining it. But we had two ganders fighting like that on the edge of Gary Dam, and Induna he wasn't even a year old yet, I don't think, came rushing out of the tree line, grabbed one of the fighting geese and killed and ate it. I was hoping the spoon bull was still here. Was wishful thinking. Okay, let's go to the dam wall, have a look at these buff. much to say. The black-spotted lapwing coming in. To add his voice to the cacophony. Oh, heron is here. We often get asked how buffalo get their ears so torn up, and when you watch them sparring like this, and this is just friendly sparring, even in this friendly sparring mode, you see how those ears can get caught between the horn and the opponent's horn, their own horn and the opponent's horn. Come, get out of the way, big buffalo. I want to see those two playing. So, sorry, a question earlier was with those bird tracks next to the lion tracks. I can't remember. Didn't take notice, I guess. But I do want to go back there and have a look. And I have to, because I'm interested to see where they went to. Lion and buffalo. Oh. As far as the geese are concerned, the one that escaped, got away from being mauled, licking his wounds and preening his feathers. But I still can't figure out the dynamics here, because 3 males, 1 female.
How do you differentiate male and female again?
Well, you can see the dark ring around the neck of the males.
Okay.
And she doesn't have it. And they're behaving like a couple, those two males. Okay, let's go back. I want to go back to Weaver's Neck. Because I don't know if anything could have happened with that buffalo and lion. Carolyn, how old the buffalo are? Gosh, I don't know, Carolyn. They're adults. Duggar Boys at Treehouse Dam. I was about to say, I wonder when they're going to flower, and they are flowering. False storms. Not much yet, and some of them, and they only really grow in these drainage lines. And there are a couple of nice big ones. and at Philemon's Dip as well, near the sausage tree. Beautiful little puff balls of cream colour. It's known as a false thorn because it does kind of look like an acacia. It is family of the acacias and a lot of the thorn trees, and it's known as the broadpod false thorn. There are a few pods still hanging. In fact, it's this perfect time of the year where you have, there's a pod, bottom right of the screen, where you have leaf, flower and fruit. It's one of the easiest times to learn a new tree is when you've got all three of them. And then of course you have the bark as well, and then the larger specimens. There's a very big specimen at the back there next to that boerbean. The boerbean is just behind this little, there you go, the two big trees that we can see. One on the left is a big false thorn, and the one on the right is a boerbean. But that should be coming into flower as well one of these days, and it'll be quite pretty. Boerbean hasn't got any flowers though. They haven't been so prolific in their flower production. Here's another kudu bull. Hey little boy. That's starting to look like the colour of that leg last night. Seb?
Sorry?
That leg that the hyenas had.
Yeah.
Is that more or less what it looked like?
Yeah. More or less, yeah.
Maybe it was a female though. I don't remember seeing the dark patches. But then also couldn't... it looked like a front leg, and I was in FC though. Oh, can't hear you, Tar. He's a little bit alert, this kudu. Aha. Finally moving when he feels safe enough to do so. Little flick of the tail, almost a subconscious action that. I wonder if his demeanour has anything to do with the fact that they were lying around last night. Hey young man, see you later. Kudu man, kudu. Jaco. In South Africa, is it Jaco? Oh, Jacob. Jacob with a B at the end. In South Africa, if there's no B on the end, we call it Jaco. The name is Jaco. Okay, Jacob is asking. Jacob's calling from, or sending in question from Austin. Hello, Jacob. Can lion climb trees and can they steal a kill from leopard in a tree? Yes, and yes they can. Depends, of course. Always it depends.
Are you still with us, Angala?
Sometimes a kill can just be out of reach of a lion. They're not as agile in a tree as leopard. They don't have... Oh, they're a little bit big and bulky. Right, I'm just going to stop here because there's still... Let me just see. Still seem to be buffalo tracks running here. But was the lion still after him? Another matter entirely. Somehow I don't think anything came of this. They're still, and it's also not running as hard. It's kind of slowing down here. I thought it might have gone off the road, but it didn't. Unless that was another buffalo. The thing is, by now we would have heard something. I'm sure we would have picked up on something already. There was a kill here. It's about the last point where there were lions running. Nothing that I can follow. A couple of kudu females down there, so nothing happened that way. So, nothing came of this, I don't think. Okay, Tara, what were you saying about that leg? I only had static. Okay, thanks. It was only the bottom part of the leg. The whole leg. Tar saying that the colour was right for kudu. Cloud's quite high, but it's getting thicker. So, where are we going? Spam Road. Up to Zoe's. Spam Road to Philemon's Cutline. Back past the dam. Make our way up to Triple M. And maybe we'll see something up that way. Okay, JB asking about, no, sending in info on the Egyptian geese. Thanks, JB. Sending some info on the geese. They do mate for life. I've always seen a difference between male or female, but I was also just looking at the book. Supposedly sexes are alike, but I've always seen a darker neck on the male. Male supposedly a little bit larger than the female. But thanks for the info, JB. So relieved that it's not dry and grey and brown anymore. It's not that it's depressing. It's just hard to imagine that anything can be green at the height of the dry season. And now everything has just got bits of green poking out. It's not fully green yet. We're waiting until our world's completely green in a couple of months' time. Because now we still see a lot of the brown and dry grasses. What was this rolling in the sand? A hippopotamus is actually lying here in the road. Yeah. No, it's the pink sweat from the hippo. You can actually see it on the sand if I go this far.
Sure, I've never seen that before.
Let me go that side quickly. Oh, that is blood. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, that is blood.
Ah,
It looks like blood.
something happened here. Something happened, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was hippos. I don't know whether it was hippos fighting or after a fight, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it is.
Right now, I don't know why I want to call you Dexter. So, and then stay steady. Yeah.
That's just rehydrating it because it is quite dry. Must have been early last night. And I can use time to start the wet wipes. How do you start these things? Now I've made them dirty.
Let me help you.
Can you try and from the middle pull the first one?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, break it there.
Okay, now that one's dirty, so
Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Dawn. But yes, interesting. Is that speaker on?
No, there's no no. Well, I could put the internal speaker on, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter, I'll get it back. You will
Yeah.
talk to that one.
yeah.
So the way it looks to me is, let me move back a little bit. If we look at that, if we look at the picture as a whole, let me put my earpiece in case Tara's trying to tell me something. Wet wipes, they leave your hands sticky. Okay, so where we're looking now, all that pink, is head area. Hippo was lying with its head this side and its rump sort of at the top right of your screen where you can see the sand disturbed. That's where the backside was, because I can see where he stood up. I can see where he put his feet. So he must have been sleeping here. My guess is that after a fight, and the place that a hippo is going to bleed the most is going to be around the mouth and the neck, because that's where the teeth are and that's where they come into contact with the other teeth of the other hippo. And this boy must have been injured. I didn't see a hippo at the dam. I didn't even see Bubbles. There wasn't a hippo at Treehouse Dam that I thought would be there. I mean at Twin Dams, because there were tracks heading south. But what I can see as well is more or less in the middle of this area where he was lying down, you can see where his perspiration, that sort of pink sweat, stained the sand as well. But yeah, definitely bleeding around the mouth or the neck area. And it seemed, it would appear that he's bleeding profusely, but it's not so much. And it's par for the course for a hippo. It's the way hippo are. It's the way they live their lives. It's almost like a rite of passage for hippo bulls when they go through fighting like that, to get injured and to learn the ways of the hippo world. Ooh, giant wasp, one of the spider hunting wasps, about this big. It sounds like a miniature helicopter. It's a deep metallic blue, I'll have to put some clips together. I've got to put a whole bunch of things together because coming into the rainy season, I can see us spending some time in FC talking to you, and we're going to need to have some things to entertain you with. And I know Seb and Tara have got some fantastic photos of some of the bigger things. I'll try and put together some of my stuff on the smaller things. Oh, and there was also a question. Jacob was asking, how many different species of owls do we have? And which is my favorite owl? Morning, Amon. Good. Ngala were down there on Weaver's Nest, chasing buff. No, it looks like male. Okay. No, it seemed that they came in north from Gowrie Main, but then there's some tracks heading east on Gowrie Main. Could have been, because they've got some of the Matimbas up on Beaufort. Yeah, they just made it a few days ago. Made a turn on Zoe's Road. Later. Enjoy your day. What are those impala looking at? A bachelor herd of impala in here. Look at the mouth of that hole on that turret. That's a plated lizard. I was trying to figure out what mongoose would be that color. That's actually a rough-scaled plated lizard poking his head out. We got to remember all these places where the plated lizards are for our checklist challenge. Because even though we'll have a month to get them, I bet you when we want to find them, we're not going to be able to find them. So, just so you know, if it's got a yellow throat like that, and you can't really see it from here, but maybe if we get a closer view of one, they've got quite a distinctive yellow throat, and most of the other plated lizards don't have such a yellow throat. I haven't seen tawny plated because they're mostly rock dwellers. And the giant plated as well. The giant plated lizards that you get in the Kopi, the rocky areas, also more associated with rocky outcrops. But those are perhaps the three types of plated lizards that we would find here in the Sabi Sands. But I think we only really get this one here at Djuma, the rough-scaled plated lizard. There's also, I think there is a yellow-throated plated lizard, if I'm not mistaken, which can be confused with the rough-scaled. Anyways, the reptiles are going to prove a little difficult to find. Having said that, Sulina's seen her fair share of snakes since she's been here. a mamba, another green snake. When she was with drag marks. When she was with Anton at Black Leopard Lodge or Black Leopard Camp, they found a python with her eggs. Drag marks. I wondered if this had anything to do with the kudu leg that was seen at the den. Speaking of which, he has a kudu. And another bull up ahead. This is a youngster, and there's its mother. Unfortunately, they're behind some trees here, and she's not going to let us get a good view of them. But a nice big kudu bull up ahead. There we go, mother and daughter. Let's go and see this big bull before he disappears. Hello, zebra. Kudu bull turned into zebra. Where did he go? He was standing here 2 minutes ago. Hello, horses. See, he's gone far already.
Two of them.
Magnificent bulls. 3 of them. Stop there. Get one through the horns of the other. Oh, magnificent animals these. 3 big bulls. Heavyweights. Okay, so distracted all the time. Jacob, how many species of owl in South Africa? I'd have to count them. I don't know. 3, 4 big ones. 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe a dozen. I'll tell you what, I'll count them while we're watching kudu. many species of owl? I guess there's about a dozen. Six, and another 6 is 12. Okay, so pretty good guess. Which is my favorite? Favorite owl would have to be, I suppose, the Pell's fishing owl. I mean, it's the most secretive and the most enigmatic. Let's move up to these bulls. It's just such an impressive bird, the Pell's fishing owl. I've only ever seen one up in the Okavango Delta. Janine sees them on the Olifants River. I'm sure Penny's seen them in other parts of the park. Very impressive. See you later, boys. I don't know if I can pick up any radio chatter about a leopard. Any update on that Ingwe sighting on Triple M? If these cats were successful with their buffalo last night, and it happened to be deep in one of these blocks, the only way I'm going to find out is if some birds start flying around, things like Bateleur and vulture. Otherwise, the only other way would be to actually track them on foot. But it seems, I mean, between here and Weaver's Nest is a huge area that these cats could have been operating in. Not could have, but they have been. I just want to go up. And there's warm air and there's a fairly good wind, and you'd think there'd be a few birds flying around on a day like today. It's not like it's cold and overcast wind. Somebody's been in and out here. Looks like probably Armand. What is he doing off-road? Maybe there's a road in there. Nothing here. Oh well. Go north. Maybe we'll get answers later today. Find some vultures coming in. Oh, the glossy starling got a nest. Just approached the hole in the tree, and a pair of them are there. Just below that elbow is a hole. No, a little higher. Yeah, there. Oh, how can that be? Or maybe they're inspecting holes, because now there's... Oh. Was that another hole that's starling? That looks like the greater blue-eared glossy. Got a dark eye. Well, dark orange, I mean. Let's go to Zoe's Road. Boom. Oh, skies are changing. It can rain as much as it likes between now and 3 o'clock. That's over the escarpment. There must be pretty heavy rain over the escarpment at the moment. A lot of the flood warning was further south, southwest. So it looks like the rain, the mountains are covered in rain at the moment. Hello, JB. Which one, the ibis or the hamerkop? JB's asking if we've seen the hamerkop or the ibis nest. Because they were mating and collecting sticks. Was it the ibises collecting sticks? I know the ibises had a nest somewhere near the dam, but we still got to try and find where those hamerkops are nesting. Somewhere in the drainage line. Somewhere, I remember I was off-road and it could have been with Karula and Cubs once. I remember seeing a hammock, I can't remember where it is. It was in one of the drainage lines. Hamerkop nest you can't mistake. The biggest nest of any bird. Don't think the ibis nest is that conspicuous. Susan, answer to your buffalo question. I think you missed that for some reason. We got streaming problems again. Ah, okay. Only Susie had problems. Susie, there's no real physical appearance that makes a buffalo or physical feature that makes a buffalo a duggar boy. Other than, of course, being an adult bull that has reached his prime or just beyond his prime, when he no longer follows the herds over their long distances as they move in search of grazing. The old bulls that leave the herd and set themselves up with some water, some grazing and some mud to wallow in. Happened. My picture went on my screen. Oh, look at that mud wasp nest. Ball of clay built by a little insect. That is about, let's say, a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Considerably, actually, bigger than a golf ball. I suppose from top to bottom it's about the size of a tennis ball, but the bottom ball bit is, I suppose, a bit bigger than a golf ball. The two holes are where larvae must have emerged, or not larvae, but adult wasps. Inside there will be several chambers where this wasp has stored some food and an egg. Each chamber has, well, depending on the wasp, but sometimes they're a particular species of spider, sometimes a particular species of grasshopper or mantid, and it paralyzes them and puts them in the chambers for the young when they hatch, and that's what the larva eats. Eventually pupates and becomes an adult wasp and manages to emerge. One of the masonry wasps, who will be busy soon. What they do is they collect a little ball of clay in their jaws, a little ball of clay that's no bigger than maybe your little pinky fingernail. Actually, it's a bit smaller than that. What is remarkable is that that wasp nest is not it's quite far from water. In fact, we're sort of on the top of a ridge here, so there's no water. I'd say the closest water for that wasp would be where the hyena den is, which is not far from us. It's just down the bottom, about 200 yards away, 300 yards away. But what the wasp can do is it can go to water and it can take in water and then find a source of dried clay and rehydrate the clay using the water and then make the little balls of clay. But what is the most incredible thing about the way these wasps work, and it's not only the masonry wasps but the potter wasps, the sand wasps, any of the wasps that either build a nest or drill a hole in the ground to store or to create a nest, to create a chamber to store food for their larvae. Whatever it is that they do, these wasps have to fly away, and they have to a considerable distance at that, and then eventually come back and find it. And it's the mapping that they do that I find so incredible, is that they take landmarks around where their nest is. They obviously use the sun for navigation to get back to the general area, but they'll take little cues from places where they're building the nest. It's almost like taking GPS points. And they will remember specific objects around the area where they're building that nest, so that when they come back they can triangulate or find their nest based on certain little land features, features that they've remembered. There's a new branch broken off the Balanites. It's too high, much too high for elephant. Did we have that strong a wind last night? I know we had quite a bit of a wind. Zoe's Road, Rebecca's Road junction in Impala Plains. Black-bellied Kohan always flies when we come here. You go?
Yeah, but did you look at on that thing?
I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, I think
There's no update on it. That's the last hour or so.
I haven't heard anything. I'm nearby for that. I might be much more way there too if I can read it there.
Okay, copy in. I know the guys on Eastern Channel were talking about it.
I like when it been there. He said, yeah, there's no one still in the middle of the road. We want to still fall apart.
I don't know if any of you guys are interested, but I found some tracks of Ngala, Koshering and Yari on Weaver's Nest, and there's also more Ngala tracks on Philemon's Cutline close to Joey's Junction after some Nyari, but I haven't followed up. Morning, Alan. I'm not too sure if I quite understand. Alan is asking, do the grazers change eating habits between the dry winter eating the dry, less nutritious grasses as opposed to the summer eating the more, well, the greener, lusher grasses? I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, the digestive system is the same. They've just got to deal with it in different ways. So it's kind of hard to tell whether they have specific parts of the grass that they eat. Yes, Fabienne. Morning. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
See you later. Did you see these baby plovers? Crown plover. From people. I wonder where they are, the little babies. Same. Where are your babies? Probably hiding. They just have to sit down and sit tight. Punished. I was starting this morning. I was starting by saying let's do a circle in the middle of the property, which would have taken us around Central Road, where there is now a herd of elephants.
Fabian will be joining us later today, I believe. Started beeping already.
Yeah, just to let you know, because I know you drive, you don't hear it.
Okay. No, I didn't hear it. So, what I want to do is I want to get a sandy patch. And we'll drive towards the gate. And as soon as we lose signal, maybe Tara can cut away and then I can get to the gate and we can see if we can see this leopard. Because we don't have much time left of our drive by the sound of things. Time-wise and beeping-wise. Seems I've dawdled quite a bit today. I don't know where 3 hours have gone. We haven't seen anything. Well, kudu, flowers, tracks. But normally when it's overcast and grey and windy and fairly quiet, 1 hour seems like 3 hours sometimes. Now it's gone already. 2.5 hours away. Time we had some cheetah also. Time some cheetah paid us a visit. Look at that kudu all lying down in the road down there. Might see them a bit later when we come back home. Hello birds. Okay, Sandy Patch. Wetella Access Road. I'm gonna try this, we'll see. So as soon as we lose signal, maybe Tara can show you one of those amazing photos of Seb's. There's one photo of Seb's that he must show you that I found incredible. I've never seen something like that before. Shavinzi with 4 upper canines. I couldn't... Oh, there's a raindrop. Anyways, let you say about that when he's... Okay, it's drizzling now. Okay, let's try this quickly. We're going to try and get to the gate and try and get to see if Yambilo Yodan is there. Tell us if we get signal there or not. I love it when I say it's right at the gate. Meanwhile, we're already 2-3. There it is. We're a couple 100 yards south. I don't know whether he's managed to pull it off the road or somebody else did, but I wonder. Right, where's this cat? It looks like it was killed right in the road. Quite a bit of it has been eaten. That's rather gruesome. And we still got signal. I'm not seeing our friend though. The leopard is normally quite shy when it comes to vehicles, multiple vehicles. He just happens to be on the main road. Which was the last station with that Ingwe? is so good at just putting his head down and hiding. And the ladies.
Hello.
Morning. I think it's this. But also I was on 3. Yeah, well I was trying to find out if there was somebody here. No. Where was he?
He was there on top of the cliff right in the morning, actually.
Was it? Has it moved since you saw it before?
No, hasn't been.
Okay. We're going to have to close down now anyway because it's starting to rain. And my hat's getting wet. Oh well. We will, now that we know we can get a signal here, we'll come back later today. Oh, he might be just on the western side of the road. Tex, come in. See, I don't have any radio comms here.
1, 2.
Texan, come in. Oh well. We will see. Oh, that's another thing, is it goes to show that there are no scavengers flying around the skies at the moment, or even scavenging eagles, because right out in there would be a pretty good of on and off signal wise. Yes, okay, thanks ladies. There he is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hi Mr. Yambilu, you're down. Oh, he's a bit shy. Wow, why is he so shy? Maybe you can see a spot. 1 or 2 spots. Yeah. Come boy. Come on. Come on, you know us already. Now he's lying down, so let's see if I can maybe just get a view from in there, just to say hello. Oh, are we looking good, Tara? No, I didn't. Right. I don't know if we can even see him in here. I can just see a couple of spots from here. He's really stuck himself in there. You can't even see his head, can you? You won't even... Yeah? But that's about the best we can do for now.
Branches on the way, but
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Go a little bit forward. Yeah, best we can do.
That's the best we can do.
It's quite arty actually.
Yeah, it is. We're going to do a focus pull to the quarry. If I close my eyes, maybe they'll go away. And unfortunately his day is going to get rather busy if he still wants to feed on that kill. He seems to have fed on quite a bit of it already. But Wednesday is a delivery day. They're going to be trucks. That's the main road into the bush from the gate. What I've done in the past, knowing that the leopard's not there, I've actually dragged the kill deeper into the bush so that the leopard isn't disturbed. But I don't know, we can't do that today, I suppose. I may be interfering. But with it drizzling and time's up, I'm gonna have to, well, time's almost up, but it's drizzling, and I'm gonna try and come back later. We'll come back it'll be before the drives go out, so we'll try and come back here first thing, and this afternoon, and Fabienne will be with us. So thanks for joining me this morning, and thanks for the questions that have come in. I don't know what the weather's going to do, but it's going to be nice and cool today in the meantime. So thanks Seb, thanks Tara. My name is Mark, and we'll see you a little bit later from all of us here at Djuma. Bye everyone. Bye, Mbili Jordan.
Hi everybody, this is Tara Final Control. Thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, with it starting to spit and the inverter beeping, we are a little bit early closing down, but thank you very much for joining us, and it's great to see Mbili Jordan, and we thought he might be in quite a bad signal area, but turns out he was in quite a good signal area, which is great, possibly with all the low-lying cloud, because we usually don't get signal in that area. But great to see him. He did evidently kill the Nyala that was there, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him a little bit later on. And Fabienne will be joining us. Fabienne's from Canada. She's another guest that's staying at the lodge. So she's also going to be joining us on the Gunda this afternoon with Mark. So do join us if you can at 3:30 Central Africa time. And hopefully we shall have a great safari this afternoon.